We're meeting up with our friend and colleague Aron Rosenthal to visit a Friendship Bridge client, Lucía Sancoy Martín, who is making an unexpected product from traditional Mayan weaving. Friendship Bridge's executive director, Karen Larson, and one of the board members, Carolina Roca, are going as well, but they're taking a boat across the lake to San Marcos La Laguna. Aron, Greg, and I are going to ride there. Even better, we're going to bypass the Panamerican Highway, and Aron is going to lead us on local roads through the mountains. He's assured me that these are gentle dirt roads with no steep ups and downs. It's the rainy season, which means it usually showers in the afternoons. So, as if we needed an excuse, we're going to spend the night in Tzununa, the next village down the lakeshore from San Marcos, where our friend, Federico, has a lakefront home in a secluded cove. Friendship Bridge is a non-profit microfinance institution that works exclusively in Guatemala to empower and improve the quality of life of impoverished and vulnerable women through microcredit loans, education, and preventive health services. Friendship Bridge has main offices in Denver, Colorado, and Panajachel. The guidebooks will tell you that Pana is the jumping-off point to other more pleasant towns around Lake Atitlan. But for Greg and I, who have worked in some pretty tricky places, this is absolute paradise. In addition to the restaurants and relaxed atmosphere, the first 8 kilometers to Sololá are a great motorcycle road with spectacular views of the lake and volcanoes and a waterfall. Just outside of Sololá, the locals warn us of road construction, but we decide to chance it.
We're in the municipality of San Jose Chacaya in beautiful western highlands of Guatemala. You've got the municipal building here, small pueblo, probably a few thousand people, one main road, and then you got the white Catholic church right back there. That's at the center of most every Guatemalan pueblo. We're on our way through a smaller village called Chuisancha.
The mountain road starts up just as gently as Aron promised, but very quickly it turns into steep ascents on rocks and gravel. Fortunately, we're not in a hurry.
And you can see that little bump right there to the right of it. As you start working your way up the slopes of Volcan San Pedro. There is a Mayan temple there. So there's still large blocks and stones where it was constructed, and they're now growing coffee on top of it. But you can still go there and see almost completely square stones, you know, that were part of that temple structure.
They just hoof it. There's just nothing to it for them. It's really impressive.
Well, it's even more impressive when they have 40 pounds of firewood on their head walking down that thing in jelly sandals. Yeah. You know, it's absolutely amazing. Here's a Mayan ceremonial place just right up this little path, you know, where you can still see the remnants of, you know, past ceremonies.
Well, look at this view. So Jess is a little nervy right now. She doesn't know whether to be mad at me or Aron or both of us, but she definitely feels like she was sold a raw deal.
Yes.
Because this is
not an easy dirt road, all loose gravel. Friendship Bridge's 60 or so facilitators across the 12 departments or states where we work traverses these kinds of roads on a daily basis to reach clients in some of the most remote and underserved communities. The views are just spectacular, but on a motorcycle, you go where you look, so I'm keeping my eyes on the not all that gentle road.
Jess feels a little deceived.
Yeah, well, let me just say, anything's possible in the rainy season, my friends, you know? You never know what these roads are gonna look like. Extremely crazy rainstorms up here. So that's the rockiest I've ever seen this road.
Yeah, causing some washout.
It like really wants to be a good road, you know? Does it? Kind of feels like it's right on the cusp of being something enjoyable. Yeah. And then be like, nope, but it's very stressful. Yeah. Did you say you slid down?
Oh yeah, I tipped over. Aron's asking me if I've ever fallen over before on my motorbike.
I don't know, man.
All the time. That's why I've got a rod in my leg, Jess says. Yeah, I broke my leg 10 months ago.
I don't know, we were traveling with a guy with a rod in his leg. You're a bad omen for this trip.
As long as there's no lightning, we're gonna be fine.
After our small rest outside Santa Lucía Atitlan, the going gets much easier and a lot more pleasant for me. Soon we reach Highway 14 and we're back on the tarmac. For a while at least.
So we're going there? No.
Yeah.
There?
Yeah, pretty much.
¿Ustedes quieren subir hasta la punta del volcán o solo...?
Venimos para ir a Tzununa, pero en otro momento, otro fin de semana vamos a volver y ella tiene mucha ganas de subir el volcán. Pero la verdad es que una vez que empezamos a subir, va a empezar a quejarse y va a decirme, ¿de quién es esta idea de subir el volcán? ¿Por qué me llevas por este volcán? Es por eso que duermo en el sofá. Todas las noches, es por eso. We just met these nice people, this nice woman and her 2 kids. Buenos días, ¿cómo están? And this is her tierra, this is her terreno. A mí no me costó nada subir, pero a ella sí. Estaba jadeando todo el rato. Yo no, para nada.
Pero no es muy... Poquito.
Pero para usted no, ¿verdad? Lo hace todos los días, ¿verdad?
Oh, wow.
Pero qué vista de maravilla. So we kind of trespassed, obviously, but she said we could stay here for just a minute. And she doesn't live here, even though there's a little choza up there, like a little shack.
Mm-hmm.
They just come here to enjoy the view and sit, and they got this little swing set there, basic thing. And they just enjoy this view. This is like a priceless view. There should be a 5-star resort on this hillside here, don't you think?
Arriving at Santa Clara La Laguna and continuing to descend, Highway 14 to the lake leaves no opportunity to enjoy the view because the road is just awful. We've arrived a bit early, so rather than wait for Karen and Carolina, we continue on to Tzununa to drop our bikes off and walk back. But it turns out the Moto adventure isn't quite over yet, because after San Marcos, it's a series of steep, narrow, rocky roads and mud crossings until we finally reach Fede's lakeside house in the forest.
Señora Lucía is a Friendship Bridge client, and she makes these beautiful kippahs and other items as well.
Nosotros sacamos unos diseños de portavasos, así como pequeños, y después nos hicieron otro pedido de esto.
Es kippahs.
Para la cabeza.
Los que usan son judíos. Mandaron unos diseños así como en dibujo, tal vez.
Ah, ok.
Ajá, en
sí.
un dibujo, entonces nosotros nos sacamos en crochet.
¿Y hace cuánto tiempo
Hace como,
empezó
más
usted?
o menos como 18 años.
Lucía, ¿cuántas unidades se puede hacer en una semana?
Tenemos como 30, 28 personas en un grupo. Sacamos 3 de un día.
Y América va a trabajar con ustedes con sus costos y sus todo, y crea un precio por el pedido.
Okay, so we did make a purchase today. 2 shoes and a little 2 booties, and a little hat, a little gorra.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, I like it.
It's got some nice colors.
Yeah, it really does. We ordered cashmere curry,
Okay.
and Aron has...
I got a steak with blue cheese.
After a late lunch and just a couple drinks, we stroll down San Marcos' main street to the dock. Aron, Greg, and I are catching a lift to the Tzununa dock instead of the 45-minute walk. Señora Lucía is one light among many successful Friendship Bridge women entrepreneurs, and there are many more stories to tell. But in the meantime, it's back to Fede's house with just enough time to get settled in before the light show. The next morning, life on the lake is totally serene, or at least around our little cove. We read and drink coffee, which Fede harvests on these slopes, and eventually take a cool swim in the lake before packing up the bikes. Back on our bikes, we discover that Aron has a puncture. Greg comes to the rescue with his mini compressor, and the tire holds until we find a mechanic in San Pablo. Then it's back up Highway 14, and this time it's a short ride back to Pana on the Panamerican. Thanks to Fede for sharing his house, and thanks to Aron for sharing his knowledge of the area. If you'd like to learn more about Friendship Bridge, please reach out to Greg and me, or contact Friendship Bridge directly. There are all sorts of ways to get involved, and you can even arrange your visit through Friendship Bridge and get to know Guatemala through our local team.